Well, hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Pastor Talk. Pastor Brian, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about my hair right now.
How amazing it is.
It's amazing.
Well, you know, it's that time of year when you have to take down.
We're taking down lots and lots of Christmas decorations. So
yes, we are.
You did that yesterday. I heard you got sucked into it yesterday.
Yes, but I was happy. Every once in a while, you're just let's just do some manual labor.
So I'm going to shout out Melody Boyington.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And Brian, too. But Melody, with the putting up and the taking down of all the Christmas and Advent decorations, they were just amazing.
Yeah.
She's been here twice today helping with that. So, yeah. So.
You know, the joys of retirement. You can come help out your church and do stuff with them, but
they do.
It's been really cool, though. I mean, having the church participate in the decorating, which we try to do, but this year was in particular pretty cool. But it's the taking. We also we have a few other people who came in today and made a special trip to help take down the decorations, and that's always a really nice thing when church members are passionate about their church and come in and help in that way.
Yeah, and the other, Jill Leone, who folks haven't had a chance to meet yet, some of them, but Jill is our new administrator in the office, and she's jumped in this week with both feet and, hit the ground running and all those other things we could say about people who start off strong. But she's been a great addition for us.
Oh, yeah.
So having said that, just remind everybody to keep Charlene Davis and her husband Joe in their prayers. Charlene's in her surgical procedure right now. So hoping and praying for really good things and outcomes for her. But Jill, our blessing of having Jill comes with, with Charlene's retirement. So Anyway, well, you got a bunch of stuff over there.
I really don't. No? I don't have anything. I have fake news, right? No, well, the big news is that next week we're starting, or week after next, we're starting our Wednesday night programming again. So we still have some time off.
We start back with Wednesday night dinner and our all age programming, children's programming starts back, and youth. And so, yeah.
Are you doing a Bible study
I'm doing something.
Okay.
I don't know.
To be determined. Yes. That's okay. I've been in the Gospel of Mark for weeks and weeks. We're only in chapter 11, but I do that on Tuesday night. So it's a different night, and I'm starting that in case anybody wants to know next Tuesday. So a week before Wednesday night programming. Okay. So we'll be doing that. Yeah. So, but the big thing is we have our new series, drum roll, So what is it? Talk about what it is.
Depending on how you want to put the emphasis, deserted or desert ed, like we learn things in the desert ed education, or deserted, like the experience of being in the desert. So we're going to look at some different images within the scriptures of people who've spent some wilderness time, who've, gotten away, either because God called them away or because they needed that. So anyway, we're starting this week to make the case that the desert's a pretty important place in every life. So anyway.
It's very, very interesting because in those wilderness times for me, that's when I've had I've had to live differently or think about God differently during those times and learn about God. And I watched some of those social media people. There's a guy who is a wilderness living guy. And I was watching one of his videos last night and he was talking about, what do you do if you don't have a tent and you're living in the snow?
I think I watched this guy.
It's too much. I'm sitting there how do you, and he's he literally cuts out blocks of snow.
Makes a snow cave.
Yeah, got to do that. And so it was really, but he has to improvise and use what maybe he normally wouldn't use. And that's in nature. And I feel like that's one of the things that happens in the wilderness, spiritual wilderness, or wherever we are in wilderness times. We have to depend upon something different, which is God. And it maybe depend upon God in a different way, lean in a little bit more. So these are wilderness.
Yeah, so I'm going to start just looking at Jesus' experience after post Matthew 3 when he's baptized. And then Matthew 4, immediately, the scripture actually says he's driven out by the Spirit into the wilderness.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, it's that way of describing Jesus's exit from baptism into the wilderness is so descriptive because there's no emphasis on the fact that Jesus chose it. He's driven by the Spirit.
That's right.
So he knows this is where he needs to go, but he doesn't choose it. He obediently follows it. So anyway, it's just intriguing to me that, anybody that would choose the wilderness, there's something that's not spiritually accurate. But anybody also that doesn't understand the value of the wilderness, that's also not a...
That's right.
So it's like, where do we go that's valuable that we would never choose to go, but the experiences of what happened there are so rich and meaningful. So I think that's what I'm going to try to get us started with. And we're going to do this intentionally. We're doing this 8-week series because we want our church, our brand new church. We are now part of the Global Methodist Church. We are First Methodist Church of Oviedo, First Church. Still, for those of you that are watching, all those names fit us. But I want us to take some desert time, some wilderness time, and you agreed with me on that.
Absolutely.
There's a richness and a value to just being still and letting God take us through that experience of leading us. So that's, it's going to be 8 weeks, and 40 of those days I'm going to call people to a prayer, a season of prayer. And I want to do... Most people probably don't remember, but when I first came, we did 40 days of prayer, and we prayed one prayer. God, what do you want your church to be?
Yeah.
And I asked everybody, don't pray any other prayers in relation to the church. Just pray that one prayer. And we're going to do a day 41 service. I have no idea what that will look like, but we're going to find out what God's saying to our congregation, to our church family. And so I'm hoping for a rich couple of months, not just in worship, but in our personal worship life as well. So, anyway.
I mean, I think that it's my nature. It's probably your nature as well, which is, okay, we're in 2024. We're done. We're Global Methodist. Okay, let's go. Well, where are we going?
Yeah.
And what we're trying to determine is not where we are going, but where does God want us to go? And I always go back to the wilderness time and the desert time in Exodus when they finally got to the point where they were just following the cloud. When the cloud moved, they moved, whether it was the next day or 2 weeks from, whenever the cloud moved, they moved. And if we can get to that point where God takes a step, we take a step, where we're right in step with God.
Yeah, and I want to figure out how to, and I don't so much want to codify that, but I do want that to become the DNA of our church family, that we are willing to move when God moves, and that He has our attention. He doesn't have to get our attention. That we're focused on Him.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how to weave that into who we are in terms of our mission, our vision, our values, but I believe He's going to reveal some of that to us. We've got a lot of really committed lay people who want to be a part of that process, and I'm sure other folks that I've not talked to yet that, prayerfully would love to be a part of, helping us become who we're supposed to be or who we're called to be. So, I'm anxious. It's certainly been some anxious days as we've kind of led through this. And so, but we've got exciting things coming up. You have an ordination.
I do.
That you're going to be ordained a full elder in the Global Methodist Church.
That's crazy.
After years of being the
lower
He
class.
also ran. No, you were never that for us.
No,
but,
I know. I know. And I didn't actually
and the
ever.
conference didn't do that either.
No, I didn't feel like that, actually. I mean, I really didn't. I never felt like that. And I've always said, and I have to say this about the United Methodist Church, one of the things they offered to me in conjunction with the church where I was serving was to help offset and pay for the course of study, which is all of the theology classes and Bible classes and all of that stuff that I had to take, and I didn't have to pay for it. You know, my church and this church, my previous church and the United Methodist Conference helped pay for that. And I have to say, they were fantastic classes. And, you know, I've got to recognize that. But anyway, so I never felt lower class. I really never did. And thank you to you, you know, for just going, okay, here she is. You're a pastor, you know, figure it out. But now it's just something that's very special. It's very special to me.
Well, I think it's just one of the things that we value in becoming a part of the Global Methodist Church is the opportunity for people's experience, people's education, but also their vocational education, which you have years of serving in churches and leadership and on staffs, that's valued and measured, which makes you, completely appropriate that you're an elder. Do you have the dates off the top of your head that we're doing that? It's a Saturday.
It's Saturday, January the 20th at 2 p.m. in Claremont at a church that I don't remember the name of.
Formerly, First United Methodist Church of Claremont, which is now, I think it's Faith.
So, I don't know.
It's a global Methodist now, too.
I mean, there can be more, and anybody can go if anybody wants to come to that.
We're going to put out a big invite. We're hoping people will go, and I think they're going to have a reception the next day in between the services.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
So, well, any reason to eat cake,
Exactly. That cake at Charlene's was so good.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
Start your day with a sugar buzz. It's perfect. Yeah. But this church has been amazing to me. So, it'll be really, because because I'm looking at this list of the preaching and how it's going, and the 13th and 14th is about Jeremiah and his call. And
are you volunteering for that one?
I mean, is that what I'm doing? Are we doing every other way? I don't love Jeremiah. I love Isaiah, but but I look at it and go, the call, that before we were ever born, before he was born, that God had appointed him and called him to do. And so anyway, it'll be interesting if that's the one I'm doing. Or the next one is trusting God when the wells are dry. That could be another good one.
Yeah, I had a good time with some of the titles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they all fit, but they were all pretty.
Well, I thought that this one, Without a Map, fits perfectly for me since I am directionally challenged and had an experience today with that, which I'll probably talk about. Yeah. Perfect for me. But anyway. So is there anything else going on? I mean, I know we're getting ready to.
Right. Well, we've got a Palm Valley Workday coming up. If you're somebody who's looking for opportunities to serve, and that's not this coming Saturday, but I think it's the following.
Yeah. And then we have a OURM, I think on the 22nd.
Yep.
So,
coming up. So we've got some opportunities to serve. This Sunday's Fill the Pantry Sunday. So we did a great job through the holidays of pantry donations and things. By the way, the donation Christmas Eve for the children's home was incredible. We had some folks that really gave us some large donations, but also other people that just are so faithful with their giving to the home. So we'll be reporting all of that. We're actually putting together our 2023 generosity list so that folks can look back and kind of celebrate what we've done in this past year with our mission partners. It's pretty astounding.
Yeah, so, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's all we have. Yeah. Back to work, back to cleaning up the sanctuary, and
got a little bit more to do.
You can go brush your hair now.
I can, yes.
Since we're done. So anyway, we'll see you guys this weekend, and other than that, you guys have a nice night.